What's up, everyone? This is Christian Duke. You're watching Strength Addicts here on Instagram Live, brought to you courtesy of BlackstoneLabs.com. Remember, loyalty is everything. Go to BlackstoneLabs.com for all your hardcore bodybuilding supplements and use discount code STRENGTH20. It'll save you 20% off at checkout. Also sponsored by TitanMedicalCenter.com. Go there for all your hormone replacement therapies, your medical weight loss, your immunotherapy, and so much more. So this weekend, guys, the Chicago Pro, what a blockbuster event. Promoter Tim Gardner hit another home run with this one. The pay-per-view went off without a hitch. Mr. Jake Wood and his Wings of Strength team, once again, another home run, another blockbuster production, affordable prices, and it was like you were at the show. Some notable wins. Teresa Vanchik with her second pro win in women's bodybuilding. As I've often said, Teresa is the future of women's bodybuilding. She's going to the Olympia with her coach, Brian Hoydig of TC Muscle. TC Muscle, a longtime sponsor of Strength Addicts coverage. And I couldn't be happier for Teresa. I couldn't be happier for Harlan Fitness. I couldn't be happier for TC Muscle. This was a much-deserved win. She works very, very hard on social media, in the gym, promoting women's bodybuilding the correct way, and this is a huge win for her. Judge Love from right here in Louisville, Kentucky, wins the men's physique overall, getting his IFBB Pro card, which is amazing. Does he get his pro card? I'm pretty sure he does. He may not, but I'm pretty sure he does. Keon Pearson, formerly of Blackstone, wins the 212. I'm not going to throw shade at Keon. I got nothing against Keon except for the fact that, I think that, let me say it like this. PJ and I don't agree on politics, but PJ is very good to me, and PJ is my friend, and PJ goes to bat for me no matter what, and it's okay in this industry not to agree on political points, but to ditch somebody for a political point, I think is short-sighted, and to not be grateful for the many, many things that PJ did for Keon. The many, many, many things that PJ did for Keon, I think is not cool. That being said, from the front, Keon looked spectacular. From the back, not throwing shade, but those glutes were soft. So if you're going to take that to Las Vegas here in 2 months' time, you're not going to do well. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. The 212 guys, they come in with striated, rock-hard glutes, and it may be enough to win the 212 in Chicago, in Chicago and Atlanta, but that's not going to fly in Vegas. When you're up there with Kamal Gargani, when you're up there with Sean Clarita, who comes in hard as nails. I mean, Sean Clarita is going to push not only Keon, but Georgia Bull Peterson. He's going to push Derek Lunsford. He's going to push everybody. Sean Clarita is going there for two reasons. To chew gum and kick ass, and he's leaving his gum at home. You see what I'm saying? And so I think that the 212 is going to be lit, and I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Akeem Williams, who last year narrowly lost the New York Pro, as I predicted, goes to Chicago in Atlanta and wins. So that is fantastic. Yeah, look, here's the deal. I don't hate Keon or anything like that. I don't. I think that he's a bit of an ingrate, and I think that he was short-sighted. I mean, him and I agree on the Black Lives Matter point. I was out there protesting. I don't know if he was, but I'm not going to ditch my friend PJ for a political viewpoint. I'm not going to ditch any real friend for a political viewpoint. PJ's been there for me so much. But, I mean, for Keon, it's like, Keon stayed at his house. PJ trained him for free. PJ was going to get him a full-time job at Blackstone Labs with benefits, sponsoring him, paying for his shows. I mean, Keon was treated like an absolute king. So to ditch PJ because of a political viewpoint, I think, I've always said it, I think was pretty shitty. But anyways, guys, look, Keon, much-deserved win from the front, from the back. He was soft. Maybe it was enough for Chicago. It sure as hell won't be enough at the 212 Olympia Showdown. It's just not going to be. I think it's going to go down between Kamal and Sean Clarita, personally. Georgia Bull Peterson's very impressive, but Georgia Bull Peterson ain't beating Sean Clarita, and he ain't beating Kamala Gargani, and that's just the facts, my friends, and that's what I put out here as the facts. Akeem Williams, much-deserved win, formerly also of Blackstone Labs, now with MHP. Akeem is a man's man, someone who appreciates everyone who has helped him along the way, somebody who has worked tirelessly to be where he's at, somebody who I think will be a threat at the Olympia, somebody who gets overlooked way too much. He's one of the strongest bodybuilders that I have ever seen. I saw this guy warming up at Bev's with 405, guys. Who the hell warms up with 405 on the squat rack with 405? TM ProFit Foods, thank you for texting me today. I appreciate you checking in on me. I've been just slammed, and today I actually cleaned the house and just relaxed a little bit. I got an article on Flex Lewis coming out for tomorrow. I got an article on the Chicago coming out sometime this week. I put out my new Iron Mag TV over at ironmaglabs.com. I'm doing a lot of social media stuff. Very, very happy to be backed by Blackstone Labs and Titan Medical Center. And it's just been one of those days. The last 2 lives have been chaotic, to say the least. You know, now I think as the year's winding down, my birthday's next month, I'm going to be 42, so I'll be a geezer, but that's okay. I feel young. And StrengthAddictsRadio.com, I just came out with that. So that's the podcast, StrengthAddictsRadio.com. Check that out. Last week I did a really good interview with Charles the Tank Dixon. That podcast will be out tomorrow. And so I'm just really excited. A lot of cool things are happening. I'm very, very proud of my friends Teresa Ivanchik for winning the Chicago Pro in women's bodybuilding. Very proud of Judge Love for winning overall men's physique. Very proud of my friend Akeem Williams for winning the bodybuilding overall. Much deserved win for him. And it looks like Max Charles will be at the Olympia, and I'm very, very proud of the Destroyer, who has put in so much work and competed so many shows and just not taken defeat and just kept coming back because that's how badly he wants to be on that Olympia stage. Now, I will say this. I love Big Ramy. Big Ramy is somebody who I enjoy interviewing. He's someone who I believe loves the sport. He's someone who's really down to earth. He's a godsend for the sport. But I do not believe that Big Ramy deserves a special invite. Now, I understand him catching COVID. That's a sorry, sad reality. This has been the worst year for bodybuilding, for business, for friends and family that I can ever imagine in my 41, almost 42 years on this planet. But Big Ramy had ample opportunity to compete. You know, he could have competed in Tampa. He could have competed in New York. He could have competed elsewhere, and he did not. And he did the Arnold Classic, and for that I have great respect for him doing his first Arnold Classic in 2020, taking 3rd place. But when you see someone like Max Charles, who's been pounding the pavement show after show, competing, peaking, going through like peak weeks and just really fighting in the trenches, it becomes a little unfair, to say the least, to give Big Ramy the special invite when a guy like Max Charles has had to go to hell and back to qualify by points. I am not a fan of the special invite. Now, he probably will get one just because now that Flex Lewis is not doing the Olympia, and Phil Heath, we all know, is not going to win. If you think Phil Heath is going to win the Olympia, you're either a diehard Phil Heath fan or you're just, I don't know, like you're just something. But the reality is he is not going to win. And they need to have some kind of a draw. They need to have some kind of, some sort of alternate reality that will sell tickets. And the bottom line is I have a world of respect for Dexter Jackson, but I don't know that Dexter Jackson will win the Olympia. I don't know that William Bonac will do it. William Bonac was unable to beat Brandon at the 2019 Arnold. He was unable to beat Brandon at the 2019 Mr. Olympia. He did beat Brandon, but that was at the 2018 2018 Arnold Classic, I believe. Or the 2018, and also the 2018 Olympia. What I'm saying is, recently, Bonac has not been able to beat Brandon. really could be that sort of surprise. He's had over a year to prep. Back with BPI Sports, the 2018 People's Champion, 2018 second Olympia runner-up, right behind Phil Heath. But it would have to be the best really we've ever seen. And I think Brandon would have to be a little bit off. Not a lot off, but I think Brandon would have to be a little bit off and really would have to be the best he's ever been in his whole life, and he could win the Olympia. He would be, in my opinion, given, the withdrawal of Flex Lewis, really becomes, in my opinion, the guy that can beat Brandon, given the correct circumstances. I do not believe Hadi Chupin can beat Brandon Curry. I do not believe William Bonac really can beat Brandon Curry. I don't know that Dexter Jackson at this stage of the game can, but maybe. In terms of maybes, I would put Rulli as the number one maybe, Dexter as a number two maybe, Bonac as a number three maybe, Hadi as the number four maybe. I would put Hadi as the number four maybe. I think Hadi has a lot of hardness, but he's a midget, guys. I mean, I'm sorry, but he's a midget, and it's not a hardness contest. The guy's physique is not pretty to look at. The guy's posing is not really all that artistic. He's just, a small fry that comes in hard as nails. What's up, Alexis? You look gorgeous this weekend. So, anyways, guys, I just want to say that, to me, honestly, this is Rulli's Olympia to lose. Rulli's a guy who I think now will be up there with Brandon, top two, going down to the wire. That's my prediction. I had Flex Lewis in that spot. I thought Flex Lewis was going to be the guy who was going to go down to the wire with Brandon. But without Flex Lewis there, in my opinion, Rulli Winkler now becomes the guy who can beat Brandon. Can he beat him? Yes. Will he beat him? Probably not. No offense, Rulli, I love you. Second in the world is nothing to hold your head down at. But like I said, Brandon would have to be a little bit off. This would have to be the best Rulli Winkler of all time. To be, because, guys, if you think the Brandon Curry that's going to take the stage at the Zappos Theater at the Planet Hollywood Resort on the Las Vegas Strip is the same Brandon Curry that won the Olympia in 2019, then you need to have your head examined. This guy is coming completely revamped. This guy is coming in a lot harder. This guy's coming with a fire unlike anything we've ever seen. Brandon Curry is not going to go to the Olympia looking like he did in 2019. This is a guy who's a chess player. This is a guy who in 2019 did what 2019 called for to win the Olympia. He's going to come in so much better in 2020. And now in the absence of Flex Lewis, in my opinion, the man that's going to go down to the wire with Brandon Curry, top two, will be Rulli Winkler. So, again, Digital Muscle in the house. What's up? So, Sugar Sean Ray, IFBB Hall of Famer, the most photographed bodybuilder in the history of Flex Magazine, may be the person operating Digital Muscle. It may also be Bob Ciccarello, the man who was robbed at the 2002 Night of Champions by a guy named Marcus Rule, who had the aesthetics of a refrigerator. It could be Bob Ciccarello. I don't know who it is, but it's somebody cool. All right, guys, so I really appreciate you coming by. I see a brown bicep, black bicep. So that could be Sean Ray, or it could be Bob Ciccarello. You know why it could be Bob Ciccarello? Because we're all from Africa originally. And Jesus was not Snow White, because nobody is Snow White from that region. You have been fed a lie. But anyways, guys, so I think that what we're going to do is we are going to be thoroughly inundated by commentators and pundits who are going to be saying things like Hadi Chupin will win. Things like, anybody, Phil Heath, who I do not believe is going to be top three, guys. Now, even in the absence of Flex Lewis, I do not believe Phil Heath will be top three. I think he will be lucky to be top five, maybe six. I just don't see it. In fact, I don't even think Phil Heath is going to take the stage at the Olympia. I don't think he's going to. But here's the thing, guys. Could you imagine, just for 1 second, this is the last thing I'm going to say. Could you imagine, with all the money that The Rock and Danny Garcia are putting into Phil Heath's documentary. This documentary is going to be like the 1980 Arnold, or excuse me, like the 1980 Olympia documentary with Arnold. It's going to be like Pumping Iron on steroids. Could you imagine if they put all this money into Phil Heath, chronicling his journey, with the little music and all that, and a day in the life, and Phil eating his meals, and yeah, honey, how's it going? I'm just eating this chicken breast here. I just pumped in the mirror. I'm looking amazing, honey. I'm looking really good, honey. What's that, honey? Hottie needs you? Nah, fuck Hottie. Hottie's a nobody. I'm 7-time Mr. Olympia Phil Heath. Yeah, listen, man. I can't wait to get up on that stage. Could you imagine if he's not on the top 4? That documentary ain't coming out. Maybe they'll give it to Generation Iron. Maybe they could put it out. I don't know. I just think it would be really ironic if they put all this money and Phil gets his ass handed to him. But anyways, guys, that's that. I appreciate you guys coming by. This is Christian Duke, StrengthAddicts.com. Loyalty is everything. Peace out. Bye.